Senator Tim Scott just wrapped up what was a very awkward, a very strange interview on Sean Hannity.
Joining us now is South Carolina Senator Tim Scott is with us. One of the more interesting things we keep seeing in every poll is the Democratic Party, the demographics that traditionally make up their coalition and their base, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, women, are now moving in massive numbers to the Republican Party. Now, we have seen past movement, not as large as this, but in the end, it seems that, well, Democrats tend to return home on Election Day. Is this year different?
Well, Sean, 1,000% this year is different. In football, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. We have a once-in-a-lifetime leader called Donald Trump who's bringing a coalition together like never before. I will predict that President Trump will receive more Republican votes than any Republican in the history of the country. I predict that he will have more African-American support this cycle than any other Republican in 30 years, and I predict he will likely win the Hispanic vote. He's at 47-45 right now. But the question is why? Why are African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, Republicans, men, women, all looking at Donald Trump with new eyes? It is simple. We were better off under Trump. Economically, the lowest unemployment rates for all racial demographics and a 70-year low for women. Crime. We had law and order. African Americans in Minneapolis voted to refund the police and overturn their own city council who wanted to defund the police. Here's what we know about Americans. Americans want a fair, level playing field, and there's only one candidate and one party that represents that, and that's Donald Trump. We want a border that is closed. I tell you, this is the truth. Migrant crime is devastating black communities and white communities. We look at Lake and Riley and we come to one conclusion: preventable. We have Joe Biden talking about, was it an illegal immigrant or was it an undocumented? It was a murderer. We should be up in arms, on our feet, talking about the issues that every single kitchen table is talking about tonight. And it starts with our border. It starts with Lake and Riley. And then it goes to our economy and goes to crime. We are going to win because we have the right candidate at the right time with a record all right on every single issue that matters to Americans.
Are issues enough, or what about what Reince was discussing, and that's process and paying attention to those other details?
Well, let me tell you what, if there's anyone paying attention to the details in 2024, it's Donald Trump, who is now co-running the RNC. Laura Trump. Why? Because he understands that the devil's in the details. So he puts his brilliant daughter-in-law in charge of our RNC apparatus so that all that Reince talked about, wise man he is, will be taken care of. We're going to focus on getting the vote out early, often, mail in, whatever it takes. We will match fire with fire. But at the end of the day, you want the ball in the hands of the best player on the field. That player is Donald Trump. I can guarantee you we will win because we're coming together.
All right. Senator, hope you're right. We can't take 4 more years of this corpse as president. Anyway, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you. When we come back,
Tim Scott there saying what everybody has on their mind, that we all want the balls in Trump's hands. I thought the Oscars were over with, but here we have Tim Scott being played off of his interview, played off of the Sean Hannity program. That was really, really tough to watch. He kind of had one of those moments there where Trump's going to win the Hispanic vote and the black vote. Tim Scott, man, you keep reminding us why you're not running for president anymore. The awkwardness, the just strange way you get really into defending white people's racism. Tim Scott brought up, he said, Mexicans are killing both black people and white people. See what happened to Laken Riley? It's my understanding Laken Riley's a white woman. I don't know how you can say those Mexicans they're killing blacks. See, they killed a white person. Man, Tim Scott, how are you even a senator? You literally, like, I don't think anything you said right there was true. I mean, I don't even know. I played football. The X's and O's, it's not about the X's and O's, but the Jimmies and Joes. I mean, maybe that's like an East Coast thing or a Southern thing, but that's a weird reference to start with. It's really peculiar and really like niche. So I don't know what he's trying to do. Maybe he knows that he's talking to Sean Hannity's audience, and maybe they're, it's the older white folks that he's talking to. But the football reference is just, you can't take it from, Jimmy's and Joe's to balls in Trump's hands. It's so awkward.